Can you guys hear me? Can now? Okay, great. Hey guys, I just thought I'd hang out with you and we could talk about TINC farms if you wanted. So I guess I'll just be fielding questions. I mean, we can look at the stats right now if you want to pull it up. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like TINC is holding up really well. We're close to all-time liquidity on farms. 400K in TINC burned, which is fantastic. Let's see. $124,000 of Dragon X has been used to buy and burn TINC. $30,000 of Dragon X has been used. Has been just burned straight off the market. The fees from the pools, they've burned $27,000 of TINC directly. So, and $300,000 of Titan X has been used to burn TINC. I think it's 204 billion Titan X has been used to buy and burn TINC. The Titan X buy and burn balance is at an all-time high right now. It's at $122,000, which is massive. If this continues, the buy and burn could probably be increased to be even more strong. So yeah, the numbers are looking good. Volt has already burned $4,000 worth of TINC, and we're also burning Volt. So $1,000 has been burned of Volt as well, and that's in one day. So that's really strong. Volt balance is climbing. So numbers are looking good, guys. And I am talking to a few projects that are looking to burn TINC, so it's pretty exciting. See if we have any questions yet in here. Fair value of TINC is changing all the time based on the volume, but the thing about the fair value calculation is that it's based on all TINC being sold, which is probably not going to happen. So out of the TINC supply, there's 100,000 TINC that just is not even circulating. TINC is being used to farm as well. So it's lower than what it is right now. But as volume increases, it rises all the time. Let's see here. It's about 65 cents. But that's assuming, and that is insanely high. I mean, just consider the fact that that's if everybody sold everything right now, that's where the price would be. But that's not going to happen. There's never going to be a time when all the TINC is just being sold all the time. So there's probably probably a more accurate number that's higher. Like I would say that it's probably. I mean, you could argue that the value on the market is the fair value in a sense, right? So that's just one way of calculating it. And as more protocols come in to burn TINC, like you're going to see that value just increase. And as the volume goes up, you'll also see that value increase. So I wouldn't worry too much about the official fair value, which is 65 cents or whatever, because it will most likely never reach that number. That's probably a worst case scenario number, assuming that volume is consistent or it continues to increase. So I shouldn't really call it fair value. Fair value is what's on the market. If everybody dumped all their TINC, that's what the price would be, which is very, very good. I mean, it's a sustainable platform in a sense. As long as the volume is there, as long as Titan X is growing, it's going to be sustainable. So, I mean, you could probably pull together some numbers to see how what it would be if you just take into consideration locks. I think it would be interesting to maybe add another TINC pool, because that would just be another supply sync for TINC. Would probably boost the price quite a bit. But I'm not sure what pair. Could be Dragon X, because you would burn more Dragon X through that, but I'm not sure if I want people dumping TINC for Dragon X and then to dump that. So that's why we haven't done it yet. Good question. Yeah, I think it's really important that we start to think about buying and burning TINC instead of doing the vault stuff. I was advocating before for doing vault, and I thought that made sense at the time because we had this 369 payout. Now that that's done, we don't really have that concern anymore. Like I think once X28 launches, we're not going to have an issue burning stakes, which will mean that we have plenty of Titan X. Plenty of Titan X will be burned out of the stakes, and then the pool will be dominated by Dragon X, and it won't be an issue, like 60 or 70% probably. And then there's really no need to continue to submit to the vault. Like the projects that are doing it right now is sufficient. So that's why I'm advocating now for teams to basically think about burning TINC. As I said in one of my tweets before, that's one amazing thing about Titan X is that we can actually, we can pivot to address different problems that need to be solved within Titan X. And that is, I think that's one of the next important problems to solve. That or burning Hydra. So buying and burning Hydra or buying and burning TINC are two really important ones. But as you're saying, like TINC is kind of like something that's a headline, right? If you can show those APYs, those farming APYs, then that's something that would bring new people in. So that's a very good point. Yeah. Maybe we should make those little, like a share widget out of these APYs. That could be cool too. Yeah, strong take definitely makes the entire ecosystem stronger, for sure, my friend. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you. Yeah, Dragon X all-time high today. It's crazy. It's looking really strong. I mean, people were dumping hundreds of thousands of dollars of Dragon X, and the price held up. I think we dipped back down. We really battle for the 100K market cap. It's pretty interesting. But we've touched it now. This is the third time we've touched it. We touched it on a wick, then we touched it on the daily. That was on October 19th. Now we're touching it again 11 days later, and it's feeling like it's getting stickier and stickier. It's crazy we've done this on 3,600 users. I think we're so early. I mean, most people come in like during the real parabolic zone. So this has all been like prior to that happening, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, 369 is here. I wonder if anyone's tracking wallets that have received ETH to see where they've taken that ETH. That could be an interesting thing to look at. Like to see how many people who took their 369 stake went back into Titan X stuff. Being really interesting. Could be part of the reason why there's a pump right now. Yeah, I know. In spite of all the burning, like the balances are increasing. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what the threshold should be to basically like increase the buy and burn again to further pump TINC. I think TINC's in a good spot right now. It's nice to have a backstop. It's nice to have the buy and burns increasing. Let's look at the TINC chart. Yeah, it's going up on the daily. Yeah, it looks really good. Good volume, 600K volume. It's great because all the TINC pairs basically burn TINC because it's an input token. So centralized exchange listing for Dragon X. I don't know if it's needed. Like we have our one concentrated liquidity pool. So I think that's probably enough, you know. I'm not sure if we really need, I'm not sure what that does for us. I've never seen like a small altcoin get listed and have a big effect for them. Unless you're just going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to basically promote it once it's been launched on that exchange, then you're not going to, I don't think you'd see much of a difference. I think We are growing at 30% per month right now in DragonX, which is really good. If that continues, we're going to have a much bigger project in like a year, you know, because the bull market's really raging. We're going to have like a much bigger project. So I think organic marketing is probably our best bet. That includes getting on live streams and stuff though. I think I'm going to do the Joe Paris live stream probably once like the election is got over. I think we need to clear away some of the uncertainty around the election. So once that's done, my voice is coming in a bit low. Is that true? Whoop. Is that good? Is that better? I hope that's better. I'm going to read through these comments, and then if you want to just see whether or not it's better, that'll be good. If you're in the Titan X, and Titan X absolutely moves, yeah, it's going to move against you. So you would have hyper. That's one thing you would receive as impermanent loss. But I mean, it sounds like there's some stuff being built on hyper, so I wouldn't worry. I imagine most things will go up. It's possible things will run against each other and you'll experience impermanent loss. So I would consider your TINC position to be like your APY position. You know, you should be in farms where you're okay getting either of the asset. So for me, I'm in the Hydra Dragon X farm with my personal wallet, and like I don't mind getting Hydra. I don't mind, like if Dragon X runs away, I don't mind getting Hydra. yeah, the price is holding up very well, for sure. It's a fantastic design. And as we add more tokens and as we get more adoption, we just get more and more burning. So there's one project right now that already has it on their white paper. I'm pushing other projects to do it. So if I was to build something, it would definitely burn TINC. And probably Hydra too. GM. Does burning TINC help burn Dragon X? Not directly. It does boost the APY for the Dragon X pool, which means more people might buy Dragon X, which is beneficial. People can come in and buy any token effectively that has a farm, so that's beneficial. Yeah, I think once we have a few projects burning TINC, it's going to be really, really good for sustainability. Those projects have to succeed as well, which is never a guarantee. But as the ecosystem grows, I think we'll see more projects succeeding. Look at Lotus. Lotus exploded in a really short period of time, and it didn't actually cause a sell-off in much. It's Lotus up to right now. 36 million market cap. Low liquidity though. I want to see these guys get their liquidity into Titan Farms. So if you guys are in Lotus, can you please move your liquidity over to Titan Farms? That would be really useful for us, because we give you guys an allocation based on your volume, and we want to capture that volume to burn TINC. It's full range liquidity, so it's not really going to hurt your price appreciation at all. It's pretty easy to get through it. So please, if you're in Lotus, get into our farms. That'll be really useful. Thank you. What's up, guys? Let's see what else we got here. We were thinking about doing staking. So basically, you could route some of the fees to a staking contract, and then people could stake TINC and get fees. But then you're taking away buy and burn from TINC. So to decide what's going to be more efficient, right? I would rather see new projects build to burn TINC rather than moving buy and burn away from burning TINC myself. Maybe if the fees really get insane and like we're having a lot of burning, then maybe we could divert some of them. I think you either decide to burn it or you decide to redirect the fees. So, yeah, I need to double check that actually. But I think you cannot both burn and redirect fees. You cannot both burn TINC and redirect fees to a buy and burn contract, which means that you'd have to select it on a per input token basis. But I need to double check that. The 369 payout. The 369 payout is for DragonX. It specifically buys TitanX and buys DragonX. It buys and burns TitanX and DragonX only. So it's specific to that protocol. We don't have the ability to move the 369 payout. What you're seeing in the contract on DragonX.win, that is what the 369 payout was for us. So it's pretty significant. It was like $2.6 million. Yeah, TINC will bring in new users. So I think it really should be the focus of the next protocols to incorporate TINC and burn it. Same could be said for Hydra, because people like compounding protocols. So I think it's a big lever to also buy and burn Hydra on your protocol. So I would pick between one of those. I wouldn't do DragonX Vault anymore. As I said, we have enough. Yeah, Element 280 is doing a really good job actually burning. Let's have a look. It's burned quite a bit of TINC, right? Yeah. 17,000 TINC. This is decent. It's burning a lot of DragonX. 7 billion DragonX burned. It's fantastic. Probably soon. I mean, we're hitting all-time highs, right? So I don't know if you necessarily want to fire your shot when it's all-time high. You probably want to get a good price for your DragonX. Sorry, for your Ethereum. Like we're on the cusp, because once the election is over, there's either going to be a big dump, which would be an opportunity to DCA into DragonX and TitanX, or there's going to be a huge pump. So it's better to just wait to see if that's over. Like if we're going to have a huge pump and we're going to consolidate at higher levels, then we'd probably want to support higher levels. But if it's going to dump, then that could be an opportunity to DCA and take tokens away at a cheap price. If that makes sense. So probably just wait. I mean, there's already Hydra burning DragonX and a bunch of other protocols burning DragonX, so there's not much of a reason to speed it up or to rush it. It's nice to have that reserve. Yeah, high value TINC is good for the entire ecosystem. So please burn it. How are you doing, Brandon? Congrats on Morpheus launch, man. It looks awesome. You guys did a great job. I'm looking forward to the aggregator. We've been talking a little bit about that in DMs, so that should be good. I don't know why you guys like exchange listings. Like I think it's kind of proven at this point that exchange listings don't actually do much for small altcoins. Like you're not going to see a huge boost in adoption or anything. These exchanges just list it so that they can make money. Like unless you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars there, it's not going to be sustainable on a centralized exchange. There's way too many altcoins. Yeah, I think the current intervals for Hydra. So this question is, are you comfortable with the current BNB intervals for Hydra? Yeah, I think we need to wait for the 88 to play out. Like I wouldn't rush it, you know. The vortex alone has enough. There's enough in the vortex to burn all of the liquid supply of Hydra. So I wouldn't worry about Hydra. Like it's in a very good spot. Is it not easy to hear me right now? Let me try to move forward. Is that better? Is that better? I need some confirmation. That's actually better. Okay, it sounds better. Good. Debosh says, "Why do you look like that?" Why do I look like this? I mean, some have called me evil before, so I think I just look evil, man. I look evil, Debosh. I'm well known to be a villain in this space. Hey, man, how you doing? Already addressed this one. Inferno. I mean, Inferno's in a good place. Have you run the numbers on how much you guys are getting? If, by the way, Utah, if you want to jump on, if you want to jump on, if any of you guys want to jump on, just DM me. I'm happy to take anybody on right now as a guest. So, yeah, in terms of the weighting, like, have you calculated how much you're getting right now? It's probably like, I think it's like $1.5 million a year for you guys in worth of TINC right now. Could be more. Could be more than that. Could be multi-millions worth of TINC. You're gauged higher than any of the other altcoins that are on there, like outside of the Core 4 and Volt. So, I mean, I think it's pretty good right now, man. Like, what's the APY? So we removed some APY from Ouroboros because people weren't using it. You guys, I have to say, Inferno team has done a really, really good job of finding liquidity. Actually, it's dropped. It was high 80s, which was amazing. I think it was 97% at one point. I don't know why you guys pulled it out. Because you are making 100% APY on that, which is pretty good, man. I don't know. And it's just, I mean, the ecosystem is still being developed. It's still being built out, right? So like, it's possible in the future you guys will get more if your volume continues to increase. So I wouldn't start pulling liquidity in FUDing. Like you're in a really good spot on farms. We obviously need to keep some of the other pairs bolstered so that we can burn TINC. Because the utilization is a lot higher on Dragon X, Hydra, and TINC pairs, 97%, 95%, and 86% respectively. And the Volt Titan X is at 94% utilization. That's insane. That's so good. Respect to the Volt people. That is really, really good. So you guys are at 75%. Your volume's a little bit lower. Like, I mean, Volt has $4 million volume days, right? You guys are doing 400K, which is still very decent. But they are 10x bigger than you guys, right? Let's have a look. So you're yeah, actually it's less than 4 million now, but they're still a lot bigger than you guys. So I would be proud of what you got there. Like, you guys are extremely solid. Congrats on the all-time high. Inferno's looking really good. It's going to be constantly shifting in farms. It's the reality, you know. Like, we have to continue to gauge and change things as the market changes. But it's a really good question, Utah. And then DM me. I'll check my. If you want to come on, just DM me in Telegram. Excuse me. Do I have any concerns of some of the wallets that have TINC? Why would I? I mean, they farmed it. They put their liquidity in. They probably burned a lot of TINC. I suspect there are some benevolent whales that are staking and not maybe they're only selling a percentage, which is great for us. So. Wow, $500 last December with, and now you're at 100K. That's fantastic. Congrats. Remember to take profits, man. This is a crazy game. It's highly volatile. So take profits. Why are crypto guys escaping to Asia? I don't know. I mean, it seems like most of the buying is coming through America. So I don't know if people are really escaping to Asia. I mean, Europe is trying to kill crypto, I would say. we've been talking to some exchanges, and they're saying this new MiCA regulation is actually not good for crypto. So we were going to try to incorporate Hydra into their exchange, but then they said with the regulatory uncertainty they couldn't do it, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, people are probably front running because now the new ethos is that people should be buying and burning TINC, right? So TINC could go up. If volume increases, TINC will increase, right? So it's a bet that volume will increase in the ecosystem to a degree. Thoughts on building on Hyper? Sounds good to me. Mike Dean's doing it. Yeah. Is that known? I'm not sure. That's a very good question, actually. Can existing projects burn TINC? It depends on how flexible they are. If the code's totally immutable, then they can't burn TINC, but if the code is flexible enough, then they can, right? If Titan Farms is flexible, it can add new assets. So Warp is built burning TINC. That's fantastic. Shout out to Warp. That's great. I'd be interested to see. I need to read their white paper again. It's kind of like Inferno, right? Isn't it like Inferno on a Hyper? I'm not sure. I mean, I would if the volume was high. I would add an RH ticker to experiment to see if we could get more adoption. But it would have to be paired with ETH. We wouldn't want, and the gauging would have to be low, right? Like we don't want people aping into an RH ticker and taking money out of TitanX protocols. So it would have to be, we'd have to have a lot of adoption. Yeah, thanks, man. Hope we can stream at some point. Phoenix is looking cool. I got some questions for you about that. We've been talking a bit in DMs. Some suggestions as well. Hyperdeflationary stuff is good. I mean, Column, you should consider some other sources of yield. There's some other stuff around now. So maybe we can talk about that on a stream or in DM. Because, Lotus just launched and you haven't launched yet. So keep that in mind. It does not. I covered this. Thank you. Yeah, it was a really bad illness. I'm still actually pretty sick, but I'm feeling a lot better. I hope you guys can hear me okay. But I'm glad to be streaming again and talking to you guys. I hope I can do a little bit more of that. Honestly, things are looking so good right now. Like I feel like I don't have much to add. I'm just here to help you guys understand farms and Dragon X and stuff. Yeah, I really want to build something else. We've been talking about this with some people. I want to build something else, and I can't decide whether I would build it on Hydra or Dragon X. The thing is, it really would benefit Dragon X either way. And what we've seen with Hydra is it's buying every dip. It's fantastic. You have people just totally capitulating, and you can just see the Hydra just buying up all their supply. I think Hydra it's approaching 2% of Dragon X burned. Have a look. Yeah, 1.87% of Dragon X has been burned by Hydra, which is really good. So it's burning at like 1% per month, a little more than 1% per month, which is really good. So if we can increase that, that would be good. I think Hydra would be fine even if we don't build something on it. And my competitive spirit is telling me to build something that just takes Dragon X to the moon and just for competitive, because I'm a competitive person. And when I see other protocols trying to gain on Dragon X, I want to compete with them, It's funny how that makes me evil, even though everybody's doing it because we have the top token. Like I'm the bad guy for calling out how awesome Dragon X is. It is what it is being the market leader, But I'm actually not evil. But I am competitive, and competition is really what's driving the success of Titan X. So you should consider that, because I know there's a lot of people saying that I'm mean. I'm really not that mean. Don't you guys remember Richard Hart?
He used to like obliterate people on stream, call them, call them expletives, and that token went up 10,000x. Like, I'm really not that bad. I think pushover is actually what people want me to be, but that's not cool. No one wants to buy the coin of a fucking pushover. Yeah, I know. Hydra Vortex basically moves the funds over to the buy and burns. So it just bolsters the buy and burns. I have lots of ideas. I mean, people are building good stuff on TINC already, like in the background. I think it would be cool to expand farms with something new. And if you expanded farms features, then that could burn a portion of TINC. Like if you had an Aave-like lending system or something, I'm not saying I'm going to build that because it could be pretty heavy. Like I'm not sure if it's necessarily worth it with Ouroboros coming out, but if you had something like Aave and it's right in the farms interface, that could be cool. But there's kind of two ways to take it. Like, do you build a totally new protocol that competes with other protocols and burns TINC, or do you have like a game inside of farms that burns TINC? I think all of the above is probably good. Yes, we need TINC burning now. So try to incorporate that into your protocols. And if you're going to do Dragon X Vault, then instead do TINC burning. It's a good idea. I mean, if I was to launch another token, hopefully it would have high volume and it would burn. It would be an input token and probably burn TINC. So, I'm not rushed to build something. Like I am working on something in the background, tinkering with it. But I want to see how the next few weeks play out because we got Phoenix launching, we have Matrix launching. And these are going to be decently sized projects, I suspect, and they will bring decent volume, right? So that means more TINC burning. So there's no reason to crowd them out. Like, and then X28 is probably not too far away. I suspect when inflation ends that will be imminent. So let's let those launch. Let's see how some of these token experiments play out. So the Dragon seems in a good position, right? We have Titan Farms. We can wait to see how some of these experiments play out and then just pick the good stuff from it. So there isn't much of a rush for us, but I am thinking through something on the just out of personal interest. And I want to do stuff on the UI side in terms of design improvements. I think Volt's UI is like a standard setting UI in terms of the simplicity. And I would want to achieve something that's really playful, like a game, and it's fun to use, and that could mean incorporating new elements into the gameplay of the token as well. So. Yeah, I mean, there's no rush on the 369. It's a backstop, in a sense. An AMA from Morales could be good. Actually, I never approached them about that. Dude, you should change your name, by the way. Like, you're all over Titan X, and you still have that shitcoin in your, no offense, but they did rip off Titan X. But you should just change your name, man. Like, you're more welcome here at this point. Like, you're on all my streams. I really appreciate your input. So just join Titan X completely. Otherwise, I can't really show your comments anymore. So you have another token in your name. Cool, we get 500 views. That's great. See if anybody messaged me about jumping on. Jeez, the buys are going crazy for Dragon X right now. If someone sold a lot of Dragon X, let's actually see this. I don't know why people do this, man. Like, the bull market hasn't even started yet, People are aping. Like, really, you're going to take profits now? Into what? I just don't understand. Into what are you going to take profits? Trying to see that big sell. Whatever. Yeah, there's been some big whales that have exited. You could play it either way. I mean, you could wait to see how the 88 plays out and then watch the vortex come over and start to burn tokens, and like Hydra will probably settle at a really good spot after the 88. That's what I would say. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I mean, we've touched this all-time high 3 times now. So I would like to see us hold it as support finally. That would be nice. I mean, we're growing at 30% per month, so eventually, like, people will come in and they won't want to sell right away. So this will become a new floor, right? You need to get the people out who are up into millions of dollars. Some people put in thousands of dollars and now they have millions, or tens of thousands. They put in billions of dollars, right? Or sorry, they're getting millions of dollars out. So it is what it is. But I think they're selling too early. But it's good. It's good that they're getting out. Ali, if you want to DM me, if you want to get on here, we can chat. This is unscripted. On some stream, I'm gonna do more of a presentation style format, I think. Talking about the NFTs and how that works, talking about fair value. It's kind of obvious too. Like, I don't know if you guys really need it, but no. If you put on, I need longer hair, dude. I don't like Jesus. I need longer hair. Like, also, Jesus isn't evil, man. Come on. Titan Farms is amazing. Just wait till people start building on TINC. It's going to get ridiculous. Is TINC pumping right now? Let's see what we got here. That's just, it's at $2.20. It's good. Is there? I didn't realize that there was TA in my lineage to Abe Lincoln. I'm not related to Abe Lincoln whatsoever. I'm Italian, but thank you. That's a good point. Excuse me, guys. I need to get more water. I need to cough a lot, so I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Still a bit sick, so I am coughing quite a bit. Yeah, that's the new thing, guys. So please think about incorporating TINC because it's a benefit for everybody. I don't know why do you need Polymarket on Titan X? I guess it's cool. There are some ideas that just require like 100,000 users to be interesting, you know. So I think that's one of them. Like, but maybe people would use it. Betting, lotteries, raffles. Morpheus has a raffle. Yeah, I'm not going to give price like predictions. I think Hydra is going to be really good. Like, it's all just basically you're just leading up to that big payout that has to happen, you know. So let's just get through that. How long will the Hydra BNB last? I think the peak was The peak was at like 11 trillion or something, and now it's down to 8 trillion, and that was like 43 days ago or something. So it's definitely declining, but see what happened with Hyper was they completely ran out, and that didn't kill the project. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. There's probably going to be a lot more mining activity after the 88 because people are kind of probably waiting to see what's happening, and they're also aiming at other things, you know. So people cycle the money around. Yeah, there is actually a new DragonX website in the works. It's basically finished in terms of design, but we just have to develop it. It's cool. It has like a dragon animation. It's going to have basically a stats page that will have every project that burns DragonX, the daily burn that's happening, and the total burned. So you guys can see very clearly how much DragonX has been burned and how much is being burned each day. There's quite a few projects burning. Morpheus, I think, has like a $200,000 because they have a $300,000 burn waiting to happen on DragonX as well, which is really good. Oh, Viper. Yeah, now we can talk about this. Look, ultimately, DragonX is deflationary, right? So if people want to dump their DragonX and some of it gets burned and the rest gets burned up by bot protocols or bought by stronger hands, like, it's not the end of the world, you know? Do I think it's really helping DragonX? Not really. I think it's because DragonX is the biggest pile of economic energy that people can siphon. I talked to Steve about the Volt design, and I wanted it to be TITNX based. Because you still benefit from the price appreciation of DragonX even if the input's TITNX, right? Because you swapped with DragonX first. That and the amount of burn's really not that significant. It's like a 5% burn. So I personally wouldn't go into it with DragonX. Like, DragonX is too valuable, I think, for something like that, because you don't really know how that's going to end up. You know, because if there's not a lot of participation, then the DragonX buy and burn that basically runs the auction is going to run out probably faster than Volt. So I just I like what Steve is building. I think he's a very ingenious builder, and he's invented some cool stuff. But for that, I just don't see it to be super, like, it doesn't accrue a lot of value to DragonX. It accrues a lot of value through DragonX to Volt. So it's a bit of a vampire attack, although I don't really consider it to be really malicious. But it's just that they're harvesting the economic energy, right, in a sense. Whereas like Morpheus is taking TITNX, it's buying DragonX, and then it's using it, right? So you're still getting the price appreciation of DragonX in your token, but you're not harvesting the economic energy from another token, from DragonX. My most bullish pick is DragonX. I would say the only DragonX, the only part of my TITNX portfolio that isn't in DragonX is in the Hydra, because I'm farming. Everything else is in DragonX. I don't hold significant amounts of TITNX or any other protocol. I put everything, basically everything I have into DragonX. Yeah, I've been talking to this team, Ascendant. It's looking good. I think it's smart to burn TINC. So thank you for doing that. What skills are needed to understand how these bot protocols are built? You need to read the white papers. You need to understand liquidity pools, and is probably the most important thing to understand, because so many of these bot protocols are intertwined. So I would go to how Uniswap works. If you Google how Uniswap works, you'll get a really thorough article that's very beginner friendly that will show you how liquidity works. And that's probably your best bet for understanding this stuff. Because all these bot protocols are intertwined. They're buying they're buying their protocol with another bot token through liquidity, which is changing the price dynamics. So I would say understanding liquidity is the most important thing. You really need to understand the underlying code mechanics or the like specifics to the solidity language, that doesn't really help you. But understanding liquidity is probably, as a user, is probably the most important thing, right? It also helps you understand like how to use Titan farms and what risks you're taking. I don't know. I think we already talked about this. Can I link the link between DragonX and X1? There isn't really a particular link. We're running a node. We're running a couple nodes actually. But so we have a development company. Even before DragonX, we were doing development contracts for crypto. So we do contract development for other projects. We also build our own projects. So we're interested in building on X1, assuming some things happen, like there should be sufficient adoption and that kind of thing. But we want to do some critical apps to X1 so we can capture some of that volume, some of those fees. So it's just, we have a company, there's three of us core, and then there's two other devs that are super talented we're basically are on our payroll. And we'd probably scale that up if we were going to do more X1 development. So it's just a matter of our company expanding. It's not really related to DragonX. And it is obviously a speculative project because DragonX is not proven. So that's something to consider as well. Oh, there's a whale selling. Let me see if anyone DM'd me about joining up. I guess it's a TINC whale. See, how much did he sell? Does anyone know how much he sold? Yeah, a couple hundred K. 350K or something. No, actually 400K, yeah. Good amount. Is he out now? Let's see. He's out. From this wallet, anyway. I mean, that's great. Like, I don't know why you'd sell right now. It's kind of funny. Really bad timing. I mean, maybe he thinks Kamala's going to win, so everything's going to dump and then he'll buy back in or something. I don't know. Yeah, guys, if you aren't following me on YouTube, that could be cool. I'm not really like trying to become a major YouTuber. I don't even have 1,000 subs, but it would be nice to get some more subscriptions for sure. All right. I'm really excited for Ouroboros. Their volume didn't sustain. Like, we brought them onto Titan Farms, but the volume didn't hold up, which is fine. I think the volume will pick up once the platform launches. So yeah, I'm hoping that they will launch successfully and we have a way of exiting without selling. Could be cool. There's a lot of questions about the thickness of that liquidity pool around the stablecoin. That's going to take some time to iron out. So if it makes sense to have it on farms to help with that, then we would do that. But concentrated liquidity might be better. So it's that will develop in time. Who is this whale? I'm not sure what protocol that you're talking about. Oh, for Hydra. I'm not concerned. I mean, I think there's going to be probably enough in the buying burn to handle that. As long as DragonX and TitanX are going up, Hydra will be lifted too. So you're not going to see death. Like, I don't think you can sell Hydra to death right now anyway. Do I think Asia or Latin America is the new hub for crypto? No, I do not. I think most of the crypto, in terms of the money, it's Europe and the United States, I would say still. Like for when we look at our analytics, it's all US and Europe in terms of the number of people that are coming to buy or to farm. So for us, it's not big. I mean, there's not a lot of money in Latin America. And most of Asia doesn't have a lot of money either, so you need a lot of people. There are some big platforms in Asia. I've tried to connect with them. The project has to be the right kind of project, because a lot of these launch pads, they basically, you need to have a highly centralized protocol in order to use their launchpad properly. So it's basically like a pre-sale. Like they only do pre-sale type tokens. So we've talked to some of the biggest launchpads in Asia, but they only do these like pre-sale tokens. So we couldn't really participate. Yeah, I think Hydra will sustain. That's not a party pooper, man. That's fantastic. Do you really want that guy to have 6 million or 12 million or 20 million? It's better for him to just sell, because the bot protocols are burning so much. So, I mean, basically your share of the TINX just increased, you know? Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. Yeah, we were considering the Dragon X Volt pair for Titan Farms. Let's have a look at the volume there. We're trying to be kind of careful with adding things, you know. It's like got 183,000 in volume. I don't know. Let's see how things play out in the next few weeks, and then we can decide. It's probably too early for that. Good question, though. So we added the Lotus pair. Guys, are you in Lotus? If you're in Lotus, please bring over liquidity, because we have to do a calculation to determine how much we can give you guys based on your volume, so that we can use those fees to burn TINC, right? So if you're not using the pool, then we have to reduce your rewards. So that sucks. So I don't want to reduce your rewards, you know? But ultimately, the goal is to burn TINC with Titan Farms. So you would need a lot of volume to go through it. And so you need a lot of users to bring in volume to get a piece of that. Like you need to have a lot of adoption, you know? Otherwise, you're going to have TitanX people selling down TitanX assets to get APY on ETHUSDC, right? So you need like community buy-in, basically. I'm not sure how you'd even begin to market that. It's such a broad, like ETHUSDC is such a broad market. Good question, though. Good question. So my reasoning for that was that the Dragon X Vault is in a good position. So I really appreciated him basically offering to do that. But I just don't see it as a need at this point, because there's already a bunch of protocols that are using the Dragon X Vault. 369 is over. X28 is going to burn a lot of the stakes away. So effectively, we're in a good place, right? And because we're in a good place with the vault, it's better if he uses that for something else, for his own protocol, or to directly burn Dragon X. That was my logic there. What's up, Marco? How you doing, man? I don't know if we're going to see a new miner wave in TitanX. Like we're going to probably see some people who will mine, but I don't think it'll be another massive wave. I would like to see people continue to mine, though, because that 888 payout is going to be really nice. So yeah, guys, there's a poll going on. I guess we're losing, so you could go over there and take care of that. That'd be good. We crushed every poll with Morales, which is good. Kid Farms market cap rival Inc. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. What's the market cap right now? I mean, this platform does more volume than all of Pulse Chain. It's a lot of volume, and there's a lot of tokens being printed right now. We're at a 3 million market cap. Yeah, I think we can do that. You see a lot. I mean, there's a lot of tokens coming out every day, right? So if we sustain a decent price, who knows? You could potentially have that. They're insanely busy and super overloaded at all times. Like we're always running at 100 miles per hour. So we don't have a lot of bandwidth. We're building another significantly sized protocol for another influencer within TINC that you all know. And that's basically the bandwidth we have right now for new projects. And like if you're going to come to us with an idea, you need a lot of capital, I would say, at this point. We're not like a dev shop for TINC, but we have certain relationships with people that are our friends and stuff that that we are doing things for because we want them to do really, really well. So if you have a lot of capital, it could be different because audits cost a lot of money. You know, it's 6 figures for audits now because the market is raging. So you need to have like multiple 6 figures to work with us at this point. Potentially 200, 300, it depends on what your protocol is, you know. Yeah, I mean, it could reach a high leverage point, but it's also inflationary. So that will be a downward pressure. So it's tough to know exactly where it will land. After the 88, it will be more interesting to see. I don't think CoinMarketCap listings did a lot, to be honest with you. Like probably DEX screener boosting is doing more. But even that, I'm not sure. Like, when was the last time you guys looked at DEX screener trending and clicked on something? You know? What's the ratio right now? It's at 12.8. I think we're going to keep climbing. I don't see why we wouldn't continue to outperform TINC. Trump 2024. Yeah, you guys should be out there voting. If you guys are in the United States, go out and vote, please. And don't vote for Kamala. Vote for Trump. If you're in crypto, I don't know how can you vote for Kamala Harris? I know there are some people who are closet Democrats and they're voting. But you know what's good? People used to be closet Trump voters, and now like it's embarrassing to vote Democrat unless you're really off the reservation. So that's a good sign. There needs to be a breakup, and there needs to be a reorganization of the parties. Like you should have, like yeah, it's a big tent in the Republican world right now, but it would be cool if there was more competition between parties and some of the smarter ideas could be taken on by parties. You know, like the Libertarian Party is probably that has the most good ideas. Obviously, I think that I'm a crypto guy. It's also probably harder for special interests to penetrate a system with more parties. Probably not. I don't know. Are we building for cryptographics? Yes. That's the guy we're building for. DragonX staking. I mean, you have now farms, which is at 400% APY or something insane. So I think that's significant. I mean, stake for what? You want yet another token to stake for? Probably better to concentrate on burning TINC right now. The cool thing about DragonX is that it doesn't have staking, so people are like, oh my god, it's all-time high, I'm going to sell everything. And they're not there for the next leg up, you know? So that's actually a feature. So I'm not sure if we want to necessarily disrupt that. That's one of the reasons why DragonX is doing so good, is because of that fact. People love to sell. They love to hammer that sell button. Could be. Could be, man. Yeah, like all of this is happening before people have even like registered the bull market, like people who are not crypto, and they're going to come in later. So assuming Trump wins, I think there'll be a big rod. Next coin. Let's see how Phoenix and Matrix play out. Give me a bit more face volume. Yeah. Face volume 395. Yeah, that could be added if it's sustainable, you know. Definitely. Just we want to see sustainable volume over a period of time. It was a bit premature to add Lotus, I would say, and now they're not really participating. Kind of what happened with ORX. I don't understand why you wouldn't participate for giving you this awesome opportunity, but it is what it is. Maybe Mr. DBZen ETH can tell his Lotus family, dude, get your Lotus fam on Titan Farms. Join the evil man's platform. Hey, Viber Finance. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Why are there two comments with two different accounts? What is going on? Good question. It has to be it just has to be well designed. It has to have a groundswell around it. Like it can't be, hey, I have no team, I have no face, I have nothing. Give me 10K. It has to be like, okay, we have a team, we have devs, we have users, like here's the mechanics. It's not splitting I don't like to see at this stage projects that are splitting their economic energy between too many projects. Like pick one thing, own it. Like if you're going to be the TINC platform, pick that and own it. You know, that's more beneficial for everybody. You carve out a niche, you get users who understand your value proposition, and then you can also be more impactful. Whereas if you have one of these projects that's like 8% here, 2% there, it gets lost, you know? So focus is key. Having a team, having a good design, those are all things that I would look for. I mean, I would say that Ascendant token is getting there. I'm not sure if they're putting too much stuff with the NFTs in there. I talked to Ali about that. Like, do you need the NFTs? You know, but I think there's definitely a few things that I would look for. I have no idea what you're referring to there. I would say the opposite may happen, where you have basically election tampering happening in a few districts that are key to tipping the election, and then actually most people vote for Trump. So, I mean, it seems like based on the news that came out, like, for example, investigators in Pennsylvania actually confirmed that there's widespread voter fraud happening, at least to the extent that there's at least one canvassing organization that is fudging ballots. And there were thousands of ballots that were faked. 60% of the ballots they submitted were fake. So they're probably going to focus on the key areas. I can give no intel on that. I do not hold any hyper, no. Is this the real Joe Paris? Hey, Joe. How you doing, man? Looking forward to streaming with you, man. I figure, like, once the election is done and things are really heating up, that we should do a really good stream, man. And we should also do a catch-up call. I've been meaning to reach out to you. So hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, I think Morpheus will probably pump it up. Like, what is it at right now? They're probably just building up their treasury, so to speak. Come on. Where's the amount here? 1.3 mil in the bind burn. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the plan is there, but they should probably ramp that up at some point when they're ready. Like this amount of bind burn, it looks to be nothing more than running the functions and not really for actual effect. So yeah, they're probably gonna have to pump that up. Hope Puerto Rico is doing well, man. Like, sure the weather's good down there, dude. I need to get down into the warm areas of the world. And thank you, Joe, for all you do for the Titanx community, man. Like, you're probably the biggest guy out there who's representing the community, you know, doing streams on Volt, on Hydra, on Titanx, on DragonX. Like, it's making a huge difference, man. Thank you so much. Like, your impact is massive. And let's definitely catch up one-on-one pretty soon. I have some ideas I want to run by. Baby DragonX in farms. Let's have a look at Baby DragonX volume. BDX. 289 is decent. I mean, it's all over the map with BDX, but now they're at all-time highs, so that's great for them. Good job, guys. I hope that scale thing works out. My recommendation to builders is always keep it simple. Focus on one thing. What is your one value proposition? At this point, launching a generalized protocol like Inferno is, or like DragonX is kind of hard. Like, but if you focus in on one thing like TINC burning or Hydra burning, that's going to be really good for your protocol. Would be my suggestion. Staking to let not our weak lettuce hands sell. Yeah, well, also the lettuce hands will stake, and that's definitely what we do not want. But guys, we're at 1 hour. Look at the people actually involved here. 76 people watching. Guys, I think that's good. This wasn't meant to be like a massive marathon stream. So thanks a lot, guys. I hope we got some questions for Titan Farms answered. This is more of a general chat, but you know, Titan Farms chat is open. I'm very excited for Titan Farms. Like it's showing to be a really, really game-changing protocol. I hope we can continue to get it featured. I think it's a way for people that are not in our ecosystem to get interested. And so let's feature the APY, share those little squares of APY for the token you like out onto Twitter. And if you're a builder, consider building on TINC. And man, that flew by. Like I was blasting through the questions, like with 1-sentence answers, and it still took an hour. I'm not back to full health yet, actually, so that's going to take a while. But I appreciate you asking. Thank you, man. But okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream now. So thank you. Take care, everybody.